My 78-year-old mother's jewelry kept disappearing from her retirement home. First her diamond ring, then her pearls, then family heirlooms. She said she kept losing things. I thought it was dementia. Then I installed a hidden camera in her room. What I saw destroyed me. Staff members stealing from my mother and dozens of other seniors for years. My name is Jennifer. I'm 30 years old. And this is the story of how I discovered my mother was being robbed by the people paid to care for her. Let me start from the beginning. My mother, Dorothy, is 78 years old. My father passed away 4 years ago. Heart attack. Sudden. My mother was devastated. They'd been married for 52 years. After Dad died, Mom tried to stay in their house, the house they'd lived in for 30 years. But it was too much, too big, too many memories, too hard to maintain alone. She started having small health issues, high blood pressure, arthritis, trouble with stairs, nothing major, but enough that living alone seemed risky. We talked about options. She could move in with me, but my apartment is small, 1 bedroom, and I work long hours. I'm a teacher. I couldn't be home during the day. We decided to look at retirement communities, assisted living, places where she'd have her own apartment, but with help available if needed, meals provided, activities, social interaction. We toured several places. Some were nice, some were depressing. Then we found Golden Years Retirement Community. It was beautiful, modern building, landscaped grounds, clean, bright, friendly staff. The director, Margaret Chen, gave us a tour. She was warm, professional. She showed us a 1-bedroom apartment, spacious, private bathroom, small kitchen, large windows with garden views. Mom loved it. "This feels like home," she said. The cost was $6,500 a month, expensive, but Dad's life insurance and their savings could cover it. Mom had enough for at least 10 years, maybe more. We signed the papers. Mom moved in 2 years ago. At first, everything was wonderful. She made friends, attended activities, played bingo, went to movie nights. She seemed happier than she'd been since Dad died. I visited every Sunday, had lunch with her, met her friends. The staff seemed attentive, kind, everything you'd want for your parent. About 6 months ago, things started to change. Small things at first. I came to visit one Sunday. Mom was wearing her usual clothes, but I noticed something. "Mom, where's your ring?" She looked at her hand, confused. "What ring, honey?" "Grandma's diamond ring. You always wear it." She touched her finger. "Oh, I must have taken it off. I can't remember where I put it." We looked everywhere. Her apartment, the bathroom, her dresser drawers. Couldn't find it. "I'm sure it'll turn up," she said. But she looked worried. The ring had been my grandmother's, passed down to my mother, worth about $8,000. But the sentimental value was priceless. 2 weeks later, I visited again. "Did you find the ring?" "No, dear. I think I lost it. I'm so sorry." She seemed embarrassed, ashamed, like she'd failed somehow. "It's okay, Mom. Things happen." But I was concerned. Losing something that valuable? That important? Was this the start of memory problems? A month later, another item was gone. Her pearl necklace. The one Dad gave her on their 25th anniversary. "Mom, where are your pearls?" She touched her neck. "I lent them to someone, can't remember who." "You lent your pearls to someone?" "I think so. Or maybe I put them somewhere safe. I'll find them." Now I was really worried. Mom had always been sharp, organized, careful with her things. This wasn't like her. I started researching dementia, Alzheimer's disease, memory loss in elderly people. The symptoms seemed to match. Misplacing items, forgetting conversations, confusion. I made an appointment with her doctor. We did tests, cognitive assessments, brain scans. The results came back. Normal. No signs of dementia. No Alzheimer's. Her memory was fine for her age. Then why is she losing things? I asked the doctor. People misplace items, especially as they get older. It doesn't always mean something serious. I wanted to believe that, but more things kept disappearing. A gold bracelet, gone. An antique brooch, missing. Cash from her wallet. She always kept $100. Now it was empty. Each time Mom had an excuse. She gave it away. She lost it. Someone borrowed it. She couldn't remember. I started checking her apartment more carefully during visits. Her jewelry box was getting emptier. Things that had been there for years, gone. I asked the staff if they'd seen anything. "Oh, residents misplace things all the time," a nurse told me. "We have a lost and found. I'll check." Nothing ever turned up. 3 months ago, I decided to visit on a weekday. Unannounced. I usually came on Sundays, but I took a day off work. Drove to Golden Years on a Tuesday afternoon. I signed in at the front desk. Took the elevator to the 3rd floor. Mom's apartment was at the end of the hall. As I approached, I saw someone coming out of her room. A staff member. Young woman, mid-20s, wearing scrubs. She was closing the door quickly. When she saw me, she jumped. Actually jumped, startled. "Oh, hi. You're Dorothy's daughter?" "Yes. Is my mother okay?" "Oh, yes, fine. I was just checking on her. She's in the activity room, bingo." "Thank you." She smiled nervously, walked away quickly. Something felt wrong. I went into Mom's room. Everything looked normal, neat, clean. But I had this feeling. I went to her dresser, opened her jewelry box. More items were missing. A ring I'd seen just last week, gone. Small gold earrings, gone. I sat on her bed, thinking. Mom wasn't losing these things. Someone was taking them. I needed proof. That night, I ordered a hidden camera online. Small, disguised as a clock, with motion detection. It arrived 2 days later. The following Sunday, I visited Mom as usual, brought her flowers, had lunch, and while she was in the bathroom, I placed the camera on her dresser, angled toward the door and her jewelry box, connected it to Wi-Fi, set it to record when it detected movement. "That's a nice new clock, honey," Mom said when she came out. "Just a little gift. Thought you could use one." She smiled, hugged me. Had no idea what it really was. I left, went home, downloaded the app, and waited. The first day, nothing unusual. Staff members came in, checked on Mom, brought meals, helped her with medication, normal stuff. The second day, same thing. Normal activities. I started to think maybe I was wrong. Maybe Mom really was just losing things. Then came the third day, Wednesday afternoon. I was at work. My phone buzzed. Motion detected in Mom's room. I opened the app, watched the live feed. A staff member entered, the same young woman I'd seen before. She looked around, checked the hallway, then walked directly to Mom's dresser, opened the jewelry box, started going through it. I watched, frozen, unable to believe what I was seeing. She took a ring, slipped it into her pocket, then a pair of earrings, also into her pocket. She closed the jewelry box, looked around one more time, and left. The whole thing took maybe 90 seconds. I sat at my desk, shaking. They were stealing from my mother. The people paid to care for her were robbing her. I immediately saved the video, then kept watching. Over the next 2 weeks, I watched in horror. Different staff members coming into Mom's room, taking things, jewelry, cash from her wallet. Even some of her medication, pain pills, sleeping pills, things they could sell. Not all staff members did it. Some were innocent, just doing their jobs. But there were 5 regular thieves, 5 people who came in, looked around, and stole from a 78-year-old woman. I also noticed something else. They weren't just stealing from Mom. I saw one of them come out of the room next door, looking around nervously, checking pockets. They were hitting multiple rooms, multiple residents. This was systematic, organized. I needed to tell someone. But who? The staff was doing it. Who supervised them? I called the facility, asked to speak to the director, Margaret Chen, the woman who'd given us the tour, who'd seemed so professional, so trustworthy. Ms. Chen, I need to discuss something serious. Some of my mother's valuables have gone missing. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Unfortunately, this happens sometimes. Residents misplace items. We'll keep an eye out. I don't think she's misplacing them. I think they're being stolen. Silence. Ms. Morrison, that's a very serious accusation. I have video evidence. Another pause. Longer this time. I see. Perhaps we should meet. Can you come in tomorrow? Yes. Let's say 2 p.m. My office. I showed up at 2 p.m. the next day. Margaret's office was on the first floor. Large, nice furniture, awards on the walls. She smiled when I entered. Professional, calm. Please sit down. Show me this evidence. I pulled out my laptop, showed her the videos, multiple clips, staff members stealing, going through Mom's things, taking valuables. Her face remained neutral. No shock, no outrage, just watching. When the videos ended, she closed my laptop. Ms. Morrison, I understand you're upset, but you installed a camera in your mother's room without permission. That's actually a violation of our privacy policy. I stared at her. They're stealing from my mother. What I see is staff members entering your mother's room to provide care. Without audio, we can't know what they're doing. They're putting things in their pockets. Perhaps your mother gave them those items. Residents sometimes give gifts to staff members they like. My mother wouldn't give away her wedding ring. Ms. Morrison, your mother is elderly. Perhaps her memory isn't what it used to be. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Are you seriously suggesting? I'm suggesting that elderly people sometimes get confused. They misplace things, they forget. And sometimes they make accusations that aren't based in reality. I have video evidence. You have video of staff members doing their jobs. That's all. She stood up. I'm going to have to ask you to remove that camera. It violates our residents' privacy. And I'd appreciate it if you didn't make unfounded accusations against my staff. They work very hard. I left her office, furious, devastated. She was protecting them, maybe even in on it. I went straight to the police, walked into the station, asked to speak to someone about elder abuse. They brought me to a detective. Detective Sarah Martinez, mid-40s, kind eyes. Tell me what's happening. I showed her everything, the videos, the dates, the pattern. She watched carefully, taking notes. When I finished, she leaned back. This is good evidence, but we need more. We need to prove a pattern, show this is systematic. How? How long can you keep that camera running? As long as needed. Keep recording. Document everything, every theft, every person involved. Build a timeline, then we'll move. So I did. For 3 more weeks, I watched and recorded and documented. The thefts continued, multiple times a week. Different staff members, always when Mom was at activities or meals or out of her room. I also started talking to other families, quietly, carefully. Has your parent mentioned missing items? Over and over, the answer was yes. Jewelry gone, money missing, medications disappearing. All dismissed as memory problems, confusion, Old age. I collected statements, 23 families, all with similar stories, all told the same thing by the facility. Your parent is confused. Old people misplace things. It's probably just memory loss. I brought everything to Detective Martinez. This is enough, she said. We're moving forward. 1 week later, the police raided Golden Years Retirement Community. 6 a.m. Search warrants. Multiple units. They found stolen items in staff lockers, in cars in the parking lot, in the director's office, hidden in a locked cabinet. Jewelry, cash, medication, things taken from dozens of residents. They arrested 5 staff members on the spot, and Margaret Chen, the director, who, it turned out, was running the whole operation. She'd recruited staff members, taught them which residents to target, ones with memory issues, ones whose families didn't visit often, ones who had valuables but couldn't defend themselves. She got a cut of everything stolen, 30%. The staff members kept the rest. They'd been doing this for 5 years. Before Margaret even worked there, she'd taken over the scheme from the previous director, who'd retired and moved to Florida with a lot of money. The investigation revealed they'd stolen over $800,000 in valuables from vulnerable seniors who trusted them. The trial took 8 months. All 6 defendants were convicted. Margaret got 12 years in federal prison. Elder abuse, fraud, theft, conspiracy. The staff members got between 3 and 7 years, depending on their level of involvement. The facility was shut down, completely. New management took over, cleaned house, hired all new staff, implemented new security measures, background checks, cameras in common areas, better oversight. My mother was moved to a different facility, one I researched extensively, visited multiple times, checked references, talked to families. She's been there for 6 months. So far, so good. No missing items. Good care. Respectful staff. But I'm vigilant now. I visit unannounced. I check her belongings. I watch. Because I learned something. You can't just trust. Not when it comes to your elderly parents. Not when they're vulnerable. Not when there are people willing to exploit them. Of the $800,000 stolen, we recovered about $400,000. Some items were pawned and couldn't be traced. Some cash was spent. But we got back some jewelry, some valuables, including my grandmother's ring, found in Margaret's safe deposit box, along with dozens of other stolen items. When I gave that ring back to my mother, she cried. I thought I'd lost it forever. You didn't lose it, Mom. Someone took it. But we got it back. I'm so sorry I didn't tell you what was happening. Why didn't you? I thought maybe I really was losing my mind. Maybe I was forgetting things, getting old and confused. I was embarrassed. That broke my heart. These people made my mother question her own sanity, made her feel ashamed, made her think she was failing, when really she was being robbed. The moral of this story is simple. If you have elderly parents or loved ones in assisted living, pay attention, visit often, unannounced. Check their belongings. Notice what's there and what's not. Trust your instincts. If something feels wrong, investigate. Don't let facilities dismiss your concerns. Don't accept they're just old and confused as an explanation. Because sometimes they're not confused. They're being victimized by the very people paid to protect them. My mother is safe now, in a good facility, well cared for. But there are thousands of elderly people in homes across the country. Some of them are being exploited, stolen from, abused, and no one knows. Because they can't defend themselves. Because their families don't visit enough. Because the staff members are careful. Because directors cover it up. Please, if you have loved ones in care facilities, be vigilant. Be present. Be their advocate. Because they can't always advocate for themselves. And without you, they're vulnerable to people like Margaret. and the staff she recruited. People who see elderly residents as easy targets. Not as someone's mother, someone's father, someone's grandmother, just targets. Don't let that happen to your family. Stay involved, stay watchful, stay protective, because your parents took care of you. Now it's your turn to take care of them. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please like, subscribe, and share. And if you have elderly loved ones in care facilities, visit them, check on them, make sure they're safe. They deserve that. They deserve to live their final years with dignity, not as victims, but as valued, loved, protected members of your family. Take care of them, the way they once took care of you.